This is part 12 of the truth and the history of the corruption within the United States. Now, real quick, if you have not watched this series, I suggest you click the playlist at the bottom and start from the first part until now. Now, in my last video, I was discussing how Richard Nixon put a stop to the gold conversion to the United States dollar and offered up our national forests, our different wetlands, our city parks, and these off-road areas as collateral to these foreign nations. Yep, so all these beautiful places that we go to hiking aren't actually owned by the United States. I also discussed that too was not enough, so they had to approach the Middle East, which was the largest oil producers in the world, and struck a deal with them. And the deal kind of went like this. As long as they made sure that they would sell their oil to other nations strictly in the United States dollar, the United States will offer them military protection. But there was a second part to the deal. See, these oil-rich nations would agree to invest their U.S. paper dollars back inside the United States. And in particular, these U.S. Treasury bonds, which would be redeemable through future U.S. tax-paying citizens. Yep, so if you're in your 20s and 30s right now, they were talking about you. And as you see them taking away rights for abortions, trust me, they do not care about if you kill a baby or not. They're using projections to see how many people will be alive and tax-paying people will be alive to continue paying off their debt. And this whole concept is what we call the petrodollar. And in this effect, the US dollar no longer being backed by gold, but backed by oil. Not our oil, other people's oil. So it became a necessity to control these oil-rich nations. And by using this system to prop up the United States dollar, it's shaped America's foreign policy in the region ever since. But see, as America's manufacturing and agriculture declined, these oil-producing nations faced the dilemma. See, these piles of Federal Reserve notes that they was getting were not able to purchase much from the United States, as the United States didn't have much to offer. Oh, besides real estate, of course. See, Europe's cars and aircrafts were more superior and far less costly. And these experiments with GMO food crops led other nations not wanting to purchase any food coming out of the United States. And Israel's constant belligerence to other neighboring nations caused them to wonder if the United States could really hold up their end of the bargain by protecting them with military service. And these oil-rich nations started to have conversations, basically for selling their oil to whatever currency the purchasers wanted to choose. And Iraq being already hostile to the United States over the Desert Storm, demanded the right to sell their oil in euros in the year 2000. And the United Nations agreed in 2002 to allow them to do just that. And 1 year later, the United States reinvaded Iraq and lynched Saddam Hussein. Like